What's up, people? Welcome back to Inspire. Today's video is very different. I'm changing up the style of videos because I want to create videos that are very valuable and that you can take information from and change your life with. So if you really want to gain something from this video, you have to put your full attention and focus into this video. It's not going to be full of entertaining stuff, keeping you dopamine and all of that. So if you really want to gain something from this video, you need to give me your undivided attention and focus, right? Because this video that I'm making right now will have value to you and will change your life if you listen to the points and take something from it. Now, I need you to turn off your phone. I need you to stop scrolling through Instagram, TikTok. I need you to stop scrolling through YouTube comments, through the YouTube side videos. I need you to put this video in full screen and listen to what I'm going to say to you if you want to make a better decision for yourself and if you want to change your life, because who doesn't want to become the best version of themselves? Who doesn't want to change their life? I know for a fact you lot are bored of being the same dull person that hasn't changed from last year. You're in the same position. You haven't got anywhere in life. Your confidence is low. You can't talk to attractive women. You're not in shape. You eat like a child. You eat McDonald's and shit like that. So if you really want to gain something, listen to what I'm going to tell you. So let me start off by saying my name is Kian. I have this YouTube channel called Inspire, and I'm going to tell you a bit about my story first before I get into the further parts of this video. So I'm currently 19 years old. I started self-improvement when I went to uni about a year and a half, 2 years ago. So I went to uni 2021 September, and I had no idea what self-improvement was. I used to hit gym here and there. I enjoyed hitting gym, but it was mainly I just wanted to party. I just wanted to go out, drink, do all the degenerate stuff that people do nowadays, which is normal. I just turned 18. I've just been allowed to start drinking. So any 18-year-old that's just started drinking, they're going to go out and drink. So yeah, I started drinking, went to uni. I remember the first month I was there, I think I was going out every day for like a month. I spent $2,000. Something silly like that. Imagine spending $2,000 in a month just on going out. Oh, it's bad. But yeah, and then I met my best mate now, and we started hitting gym together. So that was like the foundation. I always hit gym, even though I was going out partying. Probably I was still eating pretty shit, but started hitting gym, and then we sort of built our relationship from that. And then I remember I used to smoke quite a lot of weed as well, which is obviously terrible as well for your mind, for everything. So I remember we were sat in his room and we just smoked. I was completely baked. I was sat on his bed, you know, when you're baked and you just don't know, you're just living in the moment. You don't care about anything. And then he puts on a YouTube video on the screen of a YouTuber called Hamza. Some of you might have heard of him, some of you might not. He's a self-improvement YouTuber, and he put him on the screen. And I sat there and I just sort of zoned into the video. I was just so, because it was so relatable what he was saying. So I sort of sat there, turned around, watched the video, and I can't remember what it was on. It was on something like delayed gratification, something like that, or dopamine detox, something I've never heard of in my life. So I sat there watching this video, Hamza's talking, and I'm so invested in it because the things he's saying connect to me so well. It's so relatable. And from that moment forward, something in my brain just clicked, and I knew I had to start changing my life. I had to get on self-improvement. And from that day forward, I remember I was consistently, this is the thing, when you start self-improvement, starting something is the hardest thing to do. So when you start self-improvement, it's the hardest thing to do, right? So for the first 2 weeks I knew about self-improvement, I was just consuming content, which a lot of you is probably a good thing because you're learning and you're gaining the knowledge of people that have had the experience in what you want to go into. So I was sat there gaining all this knowledge and experience for about 2 weeks, literally going through Hamza's video, finding other self-improvement YouTubers, getting all this knowledge, and then it comes to a point I was like, right, I need to implement this knowledge into my life. So that's exactly what I did about a year, 2 years ago. I started implementing it, and I only started off small, very small. It was like small things like, I started a little routine. I'd wake up and then I'd hit 100 push-ups before I went to uni. And then I remember I'd come back and I'd make sure I got good meals in, hit gym. It was very, very basic, which it should be to start with. If you jump straight into it and dive right into the deep end, you're going to be so confused and so muddled up that it's going to be too much for you. So start off small, right? So yeah, I started off small, started my routine, sort of went through it, still partying, still doing all that. And then after about 6 months to a year, I remember sort of come around to summer was ending maybe. And I started to really, and it was when I moved up to my apartment that I'm living in now with 2 of my mates. This place here is when I started taking self-improvement seriously. This past year, I have come so far. I've created Inspire. My routine is unbelievable. My diet's unbelievable. My shape's unbelievable. My confidence. I can chat to attractive women in public now. The confidence it's given me is unbelievable. I can't stress it enough. If you get on this, you become such a positive person and you attract that energy. The energy you give off, you attract. And if I look at myself in the mirror, not even in a cocky way, but I can see the hard work that I've put in. And when you've done that to yourself, you build up a trust with yourself and and that's where the confidence comes from. But I'll get into that later anyway. So yeah, this is where I built most of my sort of foundation through this year, which I'm very grateful for. And let me tell you, my routine now is unbelievable. I'm up at 6 a.m, cold shower, breath work, I then journal, have a coffee, I read, I'll then have my first meal, go to the gym, go for a morning walk, create videos, so do some work. With the journaling is very good as well for your mental. I'll then spend time eating clean, and then at the end of the day, I'll be in bed at 8 p.m. or 9 p.m, between 8 and 9, but I'm in bed to make sure I get the full amount of sleep. And my routine is so structured now, to a point it's normal doing these things. And you enjoy the hard work is what I'm trying to say. When you get into a routine like this, you start to really enjoy the hard work, which is very key to consistency. Right, so that is the first bit. That is sort of my story. Now I want to give you some of the value that you can gain from starting self-improvement. Okay, I wrote down some notes here, so I'm just gonna have a quick look. Okay, so the first thing to starting your self-improvement journey is I mentioned it before, but you need to start learning. You need to consume as much valuable content as you can to gain an understanding of how to start and how to set out a routine and how to live your life with self-improvement. So I obviously did this through videos with Hamza and random people, First Man, just different little videos on how to stop NoFap, how to start NoFap, how to wake up at 6 a.m. consistently, how to delay gratification. These key things are the things you need to know about self-improvement. So on my channel on Inspire, if you go through some of the videos, you can see I've given some knowledge there. But I will also be creating more guides on like delayed gratification for you guys. I've got so many more videos to come out like this with valuable content, so stick around. But yeah, just even search on YouTube, what is delayed gratification? What is a dopamine detox? How do I get up at 6 a.m. consistently? How do I do it? YouTube is a great tool nowadays. Everything you need to know is on YouTube. Everything. It's like a school. You just have to search it in on YouTube and it's there. So use that to your advantage and search up for self-improvement. Find out key elements, implement it into your life, gain all the knowledge you need to know for self-improvement. And then what you can do from that is you can start your routine. I also recommend reading books. Reading books is key. There's so much information in self-improvement books, self-help books, and there are key parts of self-improvement anyway, as reading is very good for you. Okay, the next part we've got is practice, right? So what you need to do is you need to go out and put the stuff that you've learned into practice. Don't just gain this knowledge and then one ear, out the other. Don't want that. You need to start implementing, right? So after, I say, a week of gaining this knowledge, even write down this knowledge on a bit of paper. That's all you got to do. From a video, write down some of the key points. Then you can see what you need to implement into your life. So now you've got the key stuff. You look at that and you go, right, how can I add this into my day-to-day life? And so what I did by that was I first started creating a routine. So I went onto my notes on my iPhone, set out times, literally perfect. Set out all the times, 6 a.m. till 8 p.m. and all the tasks that I had to do between them. So this is a good way because this sort of gives you the plan in front of you that you can then consistently continue to carry out every day. So when you can see something visually, it's way easier to carry out. So create a routine for yourself. That is the next step. Create a key routine and then put that into practice. Then, like now, once you've got that routine, you do it now. You don't hesitate and be like, I'm going to start that in a couple days, because that's when it will go wrong and that's when you'll start forgetting about it and you think it's not worth it. You do it now to this day. So you set out that routine. I've got a Telegram group chat, right? Link will be in the description. But I've set out routines on that for you to follow. There's loads of valuable content. So if you want to join that, hit the link in the description. It's very valuable. So yeah, just a quick plug. But yeah, so set out a routine and then you can do the 6 a.m. You can start off small though. That's what I recommend. So I would say wake up at 6 a.m. Make sure you're hitting gym. These are the fundamental basics. Get a set at bedtime and wake up early. Have a clean diet. Hit the gym. Them three things I'd say are key to starting out your self-improvement. As long as you start off with them three and you can implement them three things into your daily life, that's a good start. So you don't want to procrastinate this routine, because that is obviously when you lose the value of it and you start to think about other stuff. So that's a key thing. Don't procrastinate this routine that you've got. Hit it every single day. Game changer. Another thing you need to know when you first start out your self-improvement journey is your discipline and your sacrifice is going to grow. Your discipline for everything, especially now when you want easy dopamine. You look at your phone, you scroll on TikTok, you're constantly looking for dopamine. So when you take that dopamine away, discipline starts to come in. So you're like, hold on, I'm not going to look at my phone. I'm going to read a book. I'm going to read a chapter of a book instead of scrolling on TikTok. So that's what you're going to do. So what you've got to realise is that you're going to have to sacrifice a lot to better yourself. And when I say a lot, it is a social side of things. I'm not saying don't go out and party. I'm not saying that. Because you can have a vice. And my vice myself is going out socially, having a few drinks every now and then. But I'd say once a month. I like doing it once a month. But you have to understand that sacrifice is important. So you're going to have to sacrifice drinking and going out all the time so you can get into a better physique and better shape. You're going to have to sacrifice eating the bad foods and the easy dopamine for the long run, because it is going to help your future self. You've got to understand you're doing this for your future self. You're not doing it for you now. You're doing it for you in a year's time. Think of yourself in a year's time when you've done the discipline, you haven't eaten pizza, burgers, all the shitty food, and you've eaten clean for a whole year and you've hit gym. Think of the physique you're going to be in. Just think of that. Even 3 months, you're going to have changed your physique. 3 months of clean eating, no dirty foods, no easy dopamine, strict on yourself, discipline, sacrifice. These are key to your self-improvement journey. And once you understand that you've got to have this high level of discipline and high level of sacrifice, it soon becomes easier to understand how to carry out your self-improvement journey. And it becomes easier every day. When you first start off, it's very difficult to sacrifice these things. But as you consistently sacrifice and consistently build up that discipline, it does get easier, I promise you. And like I said before, the hard work becomes fun. The hard work becomes fun. So remember that. Okay, next bit. So I've got a question for you, and that is, why haven't you started? Ask yourself that question. Why haven't you started to better yourself? What is it about you that you don't want to become the best version of yourself? Do you not love yourself? Do you not want to have the confidence where you can talk to anyone in public and just be a positive person and attract the right people? Do you want to be depressed and boring and not have the right people around you for the rest of your life? And do you want to be stuck in the same loop of life and doing the same thing every single day to the point 10 years go by and you're sat there at 30 and you're like, what have I actually done with my life? You're now sat there with the same job that you had 10 years ago and you're not happy. You're not happy with it. So why haven't you thought to yourself, I could better myself, and instead of being the same person in 10 years time, I can be an absolute animal. You can be in unreal shape, have unreal confidence, have unreal trust, built up a level of sacrifice and discipline that's unmatched, and be proud of who you are. So just take a minute and ask yourself that question, why haven't I started? The final thing I have to say for you guys is, if you really are serious about this, then this Telegram group chat that I've got, link in the description, will genuinely help you. If I was to start my self-improvement journey, I would have loved and have really appreciated a group chat like this with people on the same journey as me, so I can talk to them and ask them questions about how can I do this better, how can I do that. So the community is there. So click the link in the description to join the Inspire community. And like I said before, we're going to build each other up. We're going to become the best versions of ourselves. I hope you've gained some value from this video, and I hope you start to better yourself and start your self-improvement journey. Thank you for watching. In a bit.